Is entrapment by undercover police ethically justified? Imagine you're walking down the street and suddenly a stranger offers you a deal that sounds too good to be true. Now, what if that stranger is actually an undercover police officer? This scenario touches on a tricky question. Is it okay for law enforcement to persuade someone to commit a crime they might not have otherwise considered? Undercover policing involves officers pretending to be part of a criminal network or setting up sting operations to catch lawbreakers. Sometimes, officers assume false identities and even engage in minor, illegal acts to maintain their cover. This practice is called authorized criminality and is seen as necessary to gather evidence. But it raises a big question about ethics and fairness. The main concern is whether police are crossing a line by inducing someone to commit a crime. If an officer persuades a person to do something they would not normally do, it can be seen as creating a crime rather than catching one. This is called entrapment. It challenges the idea of justice because it might lead to innocent people being pushed into illegal acts. Some criminologists believe that undercover operations are acceptable if the person targeted is already inclined to commit a crime. They argue that law enforcement should only act when there is evidence of predisposition. Others say that any form of coercion or persuasion that leads to a crime is unethical, especially if it causes harm or targets vulnerable individuals. Legal standards are in place to prevent abuse. These rules say that police must avoid inducing innocent people into crimes and that any inducement should not be excessive. Courts often review undercover operations to ensure they follow these rules. If officers go too far, evidence obtained might be thrown out and charges could be dropped. Transparency and accountability are vital. Police agencies should clearly define their tactics and oversee operations to prevent unethical behavior. They need to balance the goal of protecting society with respecting individual rights. Operations that target vulnerable groups or involve excessive inducement can damage public trust and harm innocent people. In true crime stories and criminology studies, entrapment is often debated because it questions whether convictions are fair. While undercover work can be effective against serious crime, it must be done within strict legal and ethical boundaries. Otherwise, it risks creating crime rather than stopping it. To sum up, entrapment by undercover police is only ethically justified if it targets individuals already inclined to commit crimes, avoids coercive tactics, and operates transparently within the law. When these conditions are met, it can be a useful tool. But if not, it can undermine justice and harm the integrity of the criminal justice system.